Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video to do my Batman Cape Crusaders episode 10, aka season finale review. So, Batman Cape Crusaders, the final season, or not, the final episode of the season 1, before they, whenever they decide to do season 2. Did not disappoint. Bar none, this episode was the best episode of the season, bar none. This one topped some of the other episodes that I praised, because don't get me wrong, there were other episodes that were really good. But this was the final episode, and they did not disappoint, man. Like that, this was like everything that you want to see in a Batman episode. And I kind of wish that like they kind of did a little bit more of this in some of the other episodes. You know what I mean? So this episode starts off where the last episode left off, which I liked, because the last 3 episodes really kind of had this continuation consistency, which I really liked. Some of the earlier episodes were kind of like one-off episodes, and I kind of didn't like that. So I kind of liked how they kind of like focused on a specific plot point and stuck with it, here in the final 3 episodes. I kind of wish they would have done that more in some of the earlier episodes. And hopefully they do that if, they move forward with the second season, which I'm pretty sure they're doing. But yeah. But anyways, so the episode starts off. We have Barbara Gordon explaining to Harvey Dent, basically that she's gonna help him, and how the lawyer, as a lawyer, and obviously Harvey Dent doesn't want this. He's like, he insists, like, he should, doesn't deserve help and stuff like that. So he's like insisting on it, and Barbara is like, you know what, let me do the flip the coin thing. If it's heads, I'm your lawyer. If tails, I'm not. It's heads. So she's the lawyer, and she's basically trying to, help him kind of get, a better deal, and, getting better treatment. Meanwhile, we see Thor. We see Thorne's, basically, contacting like his connections with the mob, and trying to take Dent out. And seek revenge. So he also gets Detective Bullet and Detective Bullet, getting Detective Bullock and Flash involved, because obviously they are dirty detectives, and so they are helping out him, and so they come up with this like plan to basically capture and kidnap Dent. This leads to Batman talking to Barbara about, while she's trying to get ready to defend Dent, about what is going on, and trying to help, tell Barbara to get him the best deal he can get. And Batman actually gives Barbara his number, and she was expecting it to be something else, through like Sky Contact or something like that, and he's just like, no, writes it down, and then Batman leaves. So then, while they are trying to transfer Harvey Dent to a different hospital, Barbara is there, obviously. We see them get attacked. And then this leads to Detective Bullock and Flint's basically capturing Harvey Dent and handcuffing him. And basically, when he gets up, they basically confirm that, oh, no, we're not trying to help you this time. We're taking you down, basically. And while this is happening, Barbara actually comes to, and she actually follows them. So they basically happens. Harvey is able to defend himself, and ultimately has the car crashed. And because of this, Barbara Gordon is able to get Dent out of there. Dent comes to, coincidentally, before the two other detectives. And they drive away, and then obviously the detectives come up, and they're like, okay, we have to go after them, basically, and try to stop them. You know. So then we see Barbara basically contact her father, Commissioner Gordon, and tell him that it was a kidnapping and stuff like that. And then after that, she contacts the Batman's number, and then we see Alfred do like some line switch so Batman can talk to her. I talk to her, I guess, just so they can't be traced, basically. And so then Batman then helps them out. And so then we see Batman join Commissioner Gordon and Detective Montoy, to basically, help Barbara and Dent out. I should also point out that during this time that there was a struggle between Harvey Dent and Barbara Gordon, because they were both handcuffed to each other to make sure that Barbara did this to make sure that Harvey didn't run away. So yeah, there was that. Then we see we basically then see basically a chase. We see a bunch of other mob members as well as the two detectives trying to go after Harvey Dent and take him out. And all of it fails. They end up taking out a bunch of the mob members. And then we get to really the final moment where Dent had gotten hit with a gunshot, and so he was bleeding a little bit as Barbara was trying to help him to the car. We then see them spot. We see them spot Barbara Gordon, but then we see basically we see Detective Bullock try to shoot Barbara and Dent, but then, of course, the father, Commissioner Gordon, is right there and threatens to basically shoot him if he does that. However, then we then see Detective Last. He basically comes in, and he's ready to take him out. Take Harvey Dent and Commissioner, or I'm sorry, not Commissioner, Commissioner Barbara Gordon, but Harvey Dent sees it and basically sacrifices himself, and he gets shot again. And this ultimately leads to, unfortunately, Harvey Dent's death um, from Detective Flint. So then, after that, Batman loses his temper and basically takes the gun and basically doesn't shoot him, but just shoots around him multiple times. Because obviously Batman doesn't do that. After this is basically over, Commissioner Gordon basically tells Batman that if he stays here when all the other cops arrive, he'd have to take him in. So obviously that was Batman's cue to leave, which he does. Then we see Batman talking to Alfred, talking about how, Dent, the Batman is like comparing himself to Dent, and Alfred basically is like, no, you're nothing like him. And so Batman still pondering about that. And that's how basically the season ends. We do see at the end cutscene, we basically see laughing gas from a bunch of humans that die from laughing. And obviously we know this is Joker. And Joker seems to have some type of serious voice, which could be a much different cry from what we normally see from Joker, from him constantly laughing at his victims. So we're getting a more serious tone Batman, or serious tone Joker in this. Also, I should point out before that happened, there was a scene with Batman confronting Thorne at the end, who Thorne was basically calling up and bragging, that Dent got killed, so the mission was accomplished for him. He got him. He died, but not the way he wanted to, but he still died. So in a way, he did win. But obviously, there's more to it than that, because obviously there is a conspiracy on now that, they know the detectives were in on it and stuff like that. So all that stuff is there now. So that's what I bet you he was calling, basically saying, hey, I can, pay off this stuff and kind of, try to cover this up despite everything, because at the end of the day, Dent still was killed, so I still win in the end, that's kind of his mindset. But then we also see Batman threw, one of his weapons at him, not, the point where he would get killed from it, but, just a little cut up, and then we see Batman just standing there, and you see the thunder and the lightning at the end, the classic lightning scene at the end. So that was such an iconic scene. Obviously, that was a tribute to Batman the Animated Series with the theme song, which I really loved. This I loved that they kind of paid tribute to the old series. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a really cool nod, especially the way to end the first season. So I like this. I don't know what other people's takes on this is, but I really loved it. I love this episode. This is the best episode of the season, bar none. And again, I really thought this was a much stronger. I think the latter half of the first season probably was the more stronger season. Like I said, the biggest issues I had with the first few episodes is they were kind of just random episodes. And again, I think episode 4 probably should have been episode 2 or episode 1. That could have been a very good starting point for Batman, instead of having it in the middle of the pact. So that was kind of one of the big mistakes they did for this first season, I think, in my opinion. But I do think they got a lot better towards the end of the season, with, where they wanted to go with it. So I am really interested to see what they're going to do for season 2, if the season 2 is still happening. I'm assuming it is. Because that's going to be the interesting element. You got this Joker now is probably going to be the main focus of season 2, and I hope they really kind of stick with that. And not just have one-off villains here and there, because, I mean, if you have one-off villains, you're really ruining, future people to be involved in the story, right? Penguin was out in one episode, Catwoman was out in one episode, so, can you really go back to them? Probably not. Harley Quinn, I mean, she'll be back in the future because she was never caught. But, you really take that out of the element. Barbara Gordon was really good in here. You really show what can be future Barbara Gordon, which will be eventually Batgirl. She will eventually be Batgirl. I don't care what anyone says. She's going to be Batgirl in the series. I mean, the final episode really kind of indicated that. She's going to be Batgirl in this series. That is going to happen at some point, I believe, assuming that this series goes for a long time. But I do think that's going to happen. I think they're already putting out the signs of it happening in this series. Considering the fact that Batman is willing to, allow Barbara Gordon to contact him, which he doesn't really do for anybody. I mean, that just kind of tells you the trust that he has in her and she has in him. Hopefully it's just that. Because Bruce Timm is like the producer and the writer of the show, right? But Batgirl is older in the series, so I know we kind of joked about that in the first review of this episode review, but I mean, maybe that's why that she's older in this series, but we'll see. But I do expect her to be Batgirl in either the next season or the season after that, assuming it goes that long. But yeah, I like this episode. Yeah. So that is the end of the review. Let me know what you guys think of this, and let me know what you guys think of overall the entire season. I know I was a little late because I just was able to get Amazon Prime, so yeah, that's why I made a commitment to watch this and review it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like to see my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for the latest content. Thank you. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace. Also, besides my YouTube channel, make sure to follow the Twitch, follow the Instagram, and also I do have a Discord link in the description where I discuss various topics, including this one here. And now I'm out. Peace.